Where in the Bible does it predict nuclear war, Russian attack? In Revelation 13:7, it predicts world conquest through war. For it says, the beast will make war against the saints, and he will overcome them, and he will be given power over every tongue, tribe, and nation. When it says he will gain power over every nation, on that basis, we can say it'll be power over the whole world. He'll conquer the world. On that basis, we can say that world conquest is the motivation behind this literal physical war. Now I ask you, could a non-superpower nation be the nation that conquers the world? The answer is obviously no. A non-superpower cannot conquer the world because there are two superpower nations, America and Russia, that would destroy that non-superpower. So we are forced to conclude that only a superpower can be the nation that does this conquering of the world. And that fulfills Revelation 13:7. But how can a superpower conquer the world when it will have to go up against the other superpower? How can Russia conquer the USA? I won't bother to ask how can America conquer Russia, because the USA is not that type of nation. So the only way that Revelation 13:7 can be fulfilled is if Russia conquers or at least disables the USA by bombing us. How can Russia bomb the USA without being destroyed by our retaliation? Let me give you a two-part answer. Part one, Russia could end the Cold War and hope the USA will disarm precipitously. And that is what Gorbachev, super Stalinist Gorbachev, did in the late 1980s. And he was successful. For we went from 39 boomer subs all the way down to just 11 subs. Actually, we still have 12 boomer subs, but the number of missiles has been reduced to what we used to carry on just 11 subs. So basically, we're down to 11 subs. Think of what I'm saying. We had 39 and now we're down to 11. Is that going overboard on disarming? Yes. Russia has interceptor missiles called ABMs, and they can shoot down 1,300 warheads, but we have reduced our warheads on our submarines down to 1,120 or 1,180. Meanwhile, Russia still has these 1,300 warheads that they can use against us. In other words, they have more than they can shoot down. We have less than they can shoot down. In other words, they can shoot down everything we have. Now for part two. Russia hacked our computers back in March 2020. It was discovered in December of 2020, and that attack was so sophisticated that it's hard for us to know what they got into. If Russia was able to tamper with our military computers that control our missiles, then we are sunk. That would truly be the ultimate, quote, worst case scenario. Let's try to recall just what this video is about. Where in the Bible does it predict nuclear war, Russian attack? Well, so far, I've brought up Revelation 13:7, and which is about the Antichrist. He's called the beast here. That's the man that restores the Roman Empire, according to Daniel 7, verse 8. In other words, he conquers Europe. Now, it says in Revelation 13:7, he'll make war against the saints, which means the Christian countries are the countries predominantly Christian, or the leading countries predominantly Christian, which would mean America and the NATO countries in Europe. Then I brought out that Russia could actually defeat America, and that would amount to conquering the world. Like I said, we're down to less than 1/3 of the 39 boomer subs that we had in Reagan's time. Now, a boomer sub is a kind of sub that sends missiles over to Russia to bomb Russian military bases. Did you know that our missiles are not aimed at Russian cities? We have been so brainwashed that our missiles aren't even aimed at Russian cities. All we have to worry about is our missiles hitting Russian military bases. That's no way to run a war. That's no way to run a deterrent. If Russia got into our military computers and is able to tamper with the control over the computers, over the missiles, so that when we press the button in retaliation, our missiles won't fly. If that's true, well, let me put it like this: that would be the Holy Grail, according from the Russian point of view. That would be the main thing they'd be trying to do by hacking our computers. So doesn't it make sense to think that maybe, quite seriously, they have done that? Okay, we've gotten to the point where Russia would be the nation that would conquer the world. So the question remains, would they use conventional missiles or would they resort to nuclear missiles? Well, because Russia is, by definition, a real superpower, logically, they would be willing to resort to nukes because that's what they have plenty of. Let me say one more time, their goal would be to destroy America as a superpower. And so the obvious logical ways for them to do that would be to resort to nukes. So I think I've made my case clearly enough and strongly enough that you can see that when it says in Revelation 13:7 that the beast will make war against the Christian countries, it'll make nuclear war, because we're talking about a superpower nation doing this, launching this war. So don't tell me that I haven't made my case. And I would like you to send me comments I do not receive very many comments, and so please send me a comment. That would be very kind of you. When will the attack come? Well, the Feast of Tabernacles was what I was saying is the logical point in time. Now the feast is gone. It's gone. It's been gone for a week, but I still think that instead of that feast, it'll be around that feast. In other words, within a short time after that feast. Now, because Paul the Apostle says the holy feast times in the law of Moses will be when certain events in the end time will be fulfilled. And, the Feast of Tabernacles is a time of the most animal sacrifices. Now, a word for animal sacrifice is Holocaust. And so the 199 animals were sacrificed. Now, that can stand for 199 million people going up in a nuclear holocaust. And the Feast of Tabernacles was the end of the harvest season, and the rapture will be the end of the spiritual harvest season of souls. So I say that the rapture and the nuclear war will take place around the Feast of Tabernacles. Now I'm basically saying that it will happen around October the 24th. Now, why would I say that? It'll be a week later than the Feast of Tabernacles. Why would I say October 24th? Well, going by the old Julian calendar, the 1917 Russian Revolution took place October 24th. Now we call it November the 7th because Russia and everybody else has switched over to the Gregorian calendar. I'm thinking that Russia, if they make the war on October 24, they're thinking that each year after that they would have a 2-week celebration celebrating both revolutions, the 1917 revolution and the world revolution of 2022. Now, they won't be able to do that each year because Christ will come and overthrow the Russian government, and there won't be no celebrating of the two communist revolutions, and I just want to make that clear. Okay, I'm finishing up. Let me conclude with what I always want to throw in. The length of the trib will be 5 months. Revelation 9, verse 5 and 10. Just remember 9 and 5, like the usual work day is 9 to 5. Just remember chapter 9, verse 5. Look up my other stuff, like put in Google for the trib, the length of the trib, the rapture. I have a bunch of stuff. I really should have. I'm going to throw in a lot of the titles into the description box under this video.